finding ways to exercise my will and commitment. And so I partake in these things. And I was inspired by my fellow Toastmasters, Michael Dugan and Jackie Meow, to do a challenge. So today I want to share with you my favorite poem ever. I used to be really into poetry. And one of my favorite poets of all time is David Whyte. And what I want to know from you, if you like poetry, please in the comments put your favorite poet, because I want to start getting into poetry again. So let me learn from you. All right. So I am going to read 3 poems and we'll finish with my favorite. Actually, we'll do 2. So here's the first one. It's called Faith. Faith by David Whyte. And a real treat. I'm going to read it to you, but hearing him read, it is so good. He is so good. Okay. I'm not going to do it justice, but the words are still good. So, Faith by David Whyte. Here we go. I want to write about faith, about the way the moon rises over cold snow, night after night, faithful even as it fades from fullness, slowly becoming the last curving and impossible sliver of light before the final darkness. But I have no faith myself. I refuse it even the smallest entry. Let this then, my small poem, like a new moon, slender and barely open, be the first prayer that opens me to faith. So good. Leo's clapping. It's just so good. Okay, I'm going to read 2 more. They're so good. So Self-Portrait is another one that I really love. Are you ready? Don't forget to share your favorite poet, okay? Because I want to read more poetry. This one, also by David Whyte, is called Self-Portrait. Here we go. It doesn't interest me if there is one God or many gods. I want to know if you belong or feel abandoned, if you know despair or can see it in others. I want to know if you are prepared to live in the world with its harsh need to change you. If you can look back with firm eyes saying, this is where I stand. I want to know if you know how to melt into the fierce heat of living, falling toward the center of your longing. I want to know if you are willing to live day by day with the consequence of love and the bitter, unwanted passion of your sure defeat. I have been told in that fierce embrace, even the gods speak of God. By David Whyte. Oh, so good. So good. Okay, so are you ready? I'm going to end with my favorite poem. This poem, every time I read it, oh my gosh, it just affirms in me the power of facing emotions, facing the darkness and challenges, and finding the light through the challenge. Okay, so here's David Whyte with The Well of Grief. This is my favorite. And if you like it even a little bit, I hope you'll listen to him read it. It's incredible. The Well of Grief. Those who will not slip beneath the still surface on the well of grief, turning down through its black water to the place we cannot breathe. We'll never know the source from which we drink, that secret water, cold and clear, nor find in the darkness glimmering the small round coins thrown by those who wished for something else. I'm going to read it one more time. It is so good. The Well of Grief by David Whyte. Those who will not slip beneath the still surface on the well of grief, turning down through its black water to the place we cannot breathe, will never know the source from which we drink, the secret water cold and clear, nor find in the darkness glimmering the small round coins thrown by those who wished for something else. Hi, Joanne. How are you? I hope you're doing wonderful. I just love this poem, and I am so grateful I found it at the age of 20. So 24 years ago, I found this poem, and it came at a perfect time because I was grieving, and I wanted to avoid it. I just wanted to avoid the grief and the shame and the darkness. I wanted to bury my head in the sand. And when I heard David Whyte read this poem, my goodness, it just spoke to my soul. And for me, this poem inspires me to go to the place that not, it's not easy to be brave and to face the darkness. But it isn't until we face that place where we cannot breathe, as David Whyte says, the darkest place, where we find the coins thrown by someone who wished for something else. And for me, that means, there's the treasure. It's in this place that not many of us venture to go to. This place where we face our darkness, we become stronger, we peel a layer of falseness and find treasures in who we truly are. I would love to hear your favorite poets. I want to get back into poetry, and I'd love to learn from you. What is your favorite poet? And if you have a favorite poem, please share. Tonight I shared David Whyte, Whyte. And I shared 3 of his poems. My favorite, The Well of Grief. Thank you so much. If you liked this and got anything positive out of it, please share this out. And I hope you have an incredible day. I am visualizing you healthy, happy, and whole. Have an incredible night. Mwah!